thank you to PlayWay for the game code. Hi guys, what's going on? We are going to have a first look at Gunsmith Simulator. Let's get into it here. You'll see. Gonna go to the computer and check our emails. Alright, so here's your to-do list. So we're gonna have to reconfigure, repair, customize. We're gonna have to test, optional, take it to the field. I think we're good here. I think we can get out of this. So we go to the, I call it a gun rack. Yep, we're gonna work on that one. Work on our Colt. Get it out of the case. All right, put the clip in. And let's start working. Take it to the workbench. Right here. Okay, so some guns can be modified, altering their configuration. We're just gonna change the rail, because we're gonna do what the client wants. Only makes sense. Now we're going to disassemble it. So there is like 22 parts, I think. It's somewhat therapeutic. Have to remove everything. I mean, it's like your typical simulator game, whether you're changing tires in gas station simulator or you're doing it in a car mechanic simulator. All right, where do we go next? That's probably kind of like the most wonkiness thing, is like you kind of want to go up on the camera. So like left and right really just kind of goes up and down instead of forward and back. So it kind of throws you off a little bit. But it's fine. It's more muscle memory if anything. Get the job done. You just have to keep on repositioning with the mouse. As it zooms in, it'd be nice if it zoomed out after. That would be super helpful. We got like 9 more parts left. 8 now. 7, take the spring off. Alright, 6 more to go. 5 more. 4 more. Get the bolt out. Alright, the ejector's gone. Actually, no, that wasn't. Thought we were doing it in order, but I guess it doesn't matter. It just highlights it, essentially. Alright, so that's done. So now we got the whole map there. So we'll do the dirty ones first. Alright, so we're gonna leave here. We're gonna head to the workbench here. Alright, confirm. We got the ejector, right grip, barrel, and extractor that we have to clean. So we're gonna have to get the rag here. Then they'll appear and basically just shine it up. Alright, that one's pretty much done. Sometimes you might have to move them around, but you can use your A and D key on the mouse or the keyboard. Kind of rotate so it dings. Now we got the extractor left. Change the orientation, and we're good. So we got all 4 done here. Alright, we got a maintenance skill. Okay. So we're going to, we got several, got about 2 rails, we got a spring, we got about, what is it, 2, 4, like 7, 6 or 7 parts, so we have to get. Good thing is the game keeps a tab here, so we have to go to the attachments, look for a handgun laser. Buy that. It's a separate shop, so you kind of have to do this one first. The great lovely thing about this is that they tell you with a logo where the items are. All right, so we're gonna get a hammer strut here for Colt. All right, we're gonna get a magazine spring for Colt. Undermount. Rail. And it's gonna be a left and a right. Got both those. Now we're going to Sears. Get a Sears spring for Colt, and then a firing pin. Cannot type. I think that's everything. Yeah. So the shopping cart. Got one of each. Shows you how much it costs, about 145 bucks. Alright. We are good. Go back to the shop. Get out of here. I mean, technically, you probably don't need to go back to the shop. And now you need to go over here. Get your boxes, 2 different stores. Let's put it back together. We're replacing this one. Yes. So we're left clicking to grab it. Confirm that now we're replacing it with the new item we just purchased. So it's pretty simple for the most part. Firing pin, so I think that's everything. Now we just have to reassemble it, or oil actually. Pretty much just click the gold ones that are kind of highlighted. I really wish building things and fixing things were about as simple as these games are. Wish it was just a matter of like clicking a button, that'd be great. Unfortunately, it's not reality. But it works for game sense. Not overly complicated. Alright, so we're gonna do that. That going in. That going. This is kind of like stress therapy. Just kind of clicking things and in a way feeling like you're actually doing it. If that makes any sense? That's where I think this game kind of comes in worth. Like, that's the fun part about Car Mechanic and like gas station simulators. When you start kind of doing the thing, start hearing like the rivets going and all the fixing, changing a tire, putting bolts in. Like, you start hearing like little ambient noises that I'm talking over. That's the fun part. Like, technically you're not literally building it, you're just clicking a button, but it's good therapy. For me, that's where the fun is. And you know what? Partially can be educational. I get it, it's not always the most modern of weapons, but still can be somewhat educational though. Because I personally do not know how to take apart a gun and then sure as heck not put it back together. So this is definitely a learning experience for me. All right, finished work. Awesome sauce. It's not super difficult. we will, oh, attachments. Go over here, across the way. Do one thing. Change one attachment. Hey, it's cumbersome now because we only got one thing. I'm sure it probably makes a lot more sense later on. We'll fire it. We'll see how terrible I am. And this is an optional. Technically, you don't have to do, but we'll do it. And this is pretty much becoming a first-person shooter. Target range. We'll just do some free shooting. We're not any sort of expert. We used to be back in the day. We are not anymore. I used to play a bunch of shooters like Unreal Tournament and Battlefield 1942. Not anymore. Again, you could do different mini games. You could do challenges where like targets fall, how fast you can do in one clip. But get the gist of it. I mean, the whole idea here is to kind of sample the gun. The gun is working, so we're gonna return this, and then I think the next one is a shotgun, so we'll get like a decent variety. They also have skeet shooting over there. We are back. Let's take the gun out. Yes, take that one. Here, put it in the box. Send it back to, what was it, grandfather? Oh, grandpapa. That's it. Grandpa's Colt. So we did the checklist. Now, send back. Oh, it's used as a computer. Which is fine, because we have to go there anyway to accept new jobs. And we're sending back to Larry. Thank you, Larry. Do Luger. But we're gonna do I think we're gonna do Mossberg. Yeah, we're gonna do variety here. We're gonna get a shotgun now. Alright, so now we got this, so we're gonna reconfigure, repair, and again, optionals for machines. So I think the good thing is that it comes here fast. Game doesn't waste your time in that aspect. Same thing with getting your online replacement parts. All right, well, again, we're gonna do what the client wants. Basically wants a shorter shotgun. So we're not gonna do anything fancy. We're not gonna keep it long. We're just gonna shorten it. Now we're gonna do what we did before. Take it apart, and it's a lot less parts, I think. Or at least I should say it's a lot easier to disassemble. I am far from a gun guy. They're intriguing, and we do play a lot of shooter type games. So I figured, I mean, this would be of interest to some of you guys. I am in no way a gun specialist. Probably gonna have to change the angle of the dangle, and camera's now working against me. Yeah, one hit down. That's not working for me. Yeah, the interface could be a little more smoother, but if you play it enough, you get used to it. Problem is, I play a lot of games. That's where my downfall is. You're a master of none when you play 1,000 of them. only so many hours in the week and like fit everything in. I don't necessarily want to cheat because you can hover over the assembly table. I guess you could call legend, and it'll let you know what you need to do. I'd much rather just kind of hover with my mouse instead of going over there. I think potentially one needs to be swapped out, but we might actually have to go over there shortly because now we're running on the back end of disassembling it. I think it was something with the barrel. Got the rings off. That's the front sight. Oh, that little tiny thing. Look at this here again. Yeah, little tiny intricate pieces you can't see. Alright, so your mainspring and firing pin are broken. And we're removing a lot of pieces. Mostly, again, because we're making it shorter. So these are new ones, basically replace the old ones. It looks like a lot more pieces. I mean, obviously we're going to need a new magazine because it's fitted for a long one. So pretty much we're just almost like overhauling like half of this gun right now. Like at least a quarter of the gun. So we're going to leave that for now. Over here, let's clean up. Table, we already know this. So I guess we're gonna have to dump these. Didn't like the order we were doing it. I wanted us to dump those first. So it was a little different than what the other one was. Not really sure why it had that extra step, but it did. So if you guys run into an issue like that, that's why. Alright, that one's done. Oh, get that one on one side. Get the sear, that was a pain in the butt to try to find. Like so tiny. For as large as the shotgun is, that last piece, microscopic at this point. Alright, hopefully it gives us the laundry list, and it does. Let's get to typing here. Alright, so we got the Mossberg, we got the short action, and we got short forearm. And not the Winchester, the Mossberg. Firing pin. Spring. The Colt. So we got the... Here we go. That's what we're dealing with. Dealing with the spring. So the elevator. Alright, magazine. Short magazine tube. We need the spring as well. And then the main spring guide. Yeah, I don't remember the gun that I was doing when I was running through this game. That was another shotgun that I was dealing with. Similar, but a little different. Which again, it's nice. It's nice to see the different, how everything kind of varies based off the gun, so it's kind of nice to see a different type of shotgun that has different tools, different parts and whatnot. And again, for me, very informative. Like, you do this enough, you start kind of recognizing certain things that you've come across, so. Alright, so now we gotta clean up some of these. Right, zoom in a little more. Little closer. I'm happy that these things aren't super involved. Kind of fine with just clicking things. Eventually you do this enough to where like it all starts registering. Alright, so now it's gonna want us to do in somewhat of a specific order, probably to what makes sense. Building the gun. There was something green that had lit up. I'm not sure if that was just happened to be at the very second that loaded in. That one. Little itty bitty pieces. It's a little easier putting it together than it is disassembling it. Yeah, the other one had a lot more rings in the front. From what I remember. Yeah, a lot of it is just kind of getting at a good angle to see the gun. Right, we're gonna take this in the truck, or the old Jeep Wagoneer, and we'll go to the shooting range. Alright, not a fan of the gun already being in your hand. Very menacing. Here's this skeet shooting. This is probably not one of the best shotguns to deal with over here. But here's where you can do skeet shooting. I've tried it. It's very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Because like you get no optics on these. So like you're just kind of looking down a basic sight, and you kind of need a sight because those skeets go really fast in the air. I have a hard time even hitting a target. Let's do one mag challenge. Alright, so over here, you go down here, get ready, hit G, and R is to reload any gun. Not terrible. And I think there's like 2 or 3 rounds. That recoil, pretty intense. All right, round 3, fight. All right, so we actually got a little sluggish in the second round, but we definitely got our fastest time in the third round, and actually our best shots too. Let's do that again. That was actually kind of fun. I have to go back over here. Probably not the best gun to do 60 seconds. I don't know if I could deal with that recoil. That's pretty aggressive. It's fun, just like you get to shoot stuff while like sampling the gun out, making sure you did everything right. So that aspect's pretty fun. Yeah, I used to play a lot of first-person shooters back in early 2000s. Play like Unreal Tournament, Battlefield 1942, Vietnam. All those old school shooters from like the 2002, 2004-ish time range. Another one was the precursor to Call of Duty was Medal of Honor Allied Assault. That was a fun one. Between that, Unreal Tournament 2000, I think it was 2004, and Battlefield 1942, oh lord, that was my gaming back in the day. Bouncing from all those shooters. Like Unreal Tournament was a good blow off because you could play kind of like the little competitive nature, but definitely the other ones are more campaign and capture the flag. And those so we are actually worse this time around. We can't end it like that. We can't. Reload. We'll do one more mag challenge. See if we can end on a good note. Trick is not to talk as much. You get quiet, you focus more. Alright, so we're like at 7.2 on that round. That recoil though, man, that really jumps like a mofo. Oh, we got 6.9 this round, so we actually improved again. Who knew? Oh, 7 point. Oh, we almost. I mean, it still was as bad as the first round, and the first round was actually better than the last two rounds before. Yeah, we definitely ended on a way better note than how we went that second go. Turn this back. Get our moolah. Doing this job. I think one issue that I have with this game is, okay, we finished our second job, is the paging. I'm hoping they can fix that, because right now this thing really trickles down my paging, like worse than Grand Theft Auto. And that game taxes the heck out of my computer. I feel like it still has memory leaks that supposedly were removed years ago. I don't think so. But yeah, outside of like that issue, I haven't had really many problems. It looks great. It's functional. Again, I kind of wish the controls were a little more intuitive when you're on the workbench rotating and everything. It'd be great if they had controller support one day. Might make it a little easier to rotate objects. I wish it was a little more consistent. I feel like the controls kind of bounce around a little bit. But the shooting's fun. It feels satisfying. Building, just kind of like point and click kind of things. On the same lines of Gas Station Simulator and Car Mechanic and a lot of those simulators where you're just kind of point and clicking to repair things and swapping parts out. So it's kind of nice. It feels very familiar in that sense. I do know those things. But yeah, if they could fix that aging issue where it's not as bad if you're here in the shop. I feel like it peaks more when you go out to the shooting range. Like when you leave the shooting range, the thing drops pretty low and then it kind of comes up a little bit and then it drops again as it comes back as you get back to the shop. But outside of that, it's a pretty fun game. And we might take another look at it to kind of get like a good little variety, see what other guns, see how many things change. Maybe we can get something where like it's painting and work around. But anyways, thank you for watching. And again, Gunsmith Simulator is now in early access. So again, the game's not finished yet. Still a lot of improvements to go, but you can play it early and help them develop what could really be a solid franchise. So anyways, guys, this is our first look and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.